Pitch football, we're outside Selhurst Park. With me, I've got a very passionate Crystal Palace fan. Give us your reaction to the 0-0 draw.
Poor 0-0 draw. Very cold to come out on a Saturday evening for a 0-0 draw. Palace played all right. Newcastle were a bit rubbish. 0-0, no goals, but nice bet on a Saturday night. All the same.
Was you expecting a bit more from Newcastle today, given their form, given their momentum?
Definitely thought Newcastle would be like much better than they were. Much better, but Palace seemed to hold them. But no goals, a shame. But what can you do? Nice to be out on a Saturday night, enjoying the game.
Talk to me about Crystal Palace under Patrick Vieira. What have you made of the team this season, sir?
Good game. They're doing much better under Patrick Vieira, I think. Much better, playing a decent side. Normally a decent bit of football, but tonight, not very decent football, to be honest. Not very decent football. But Newcastle didn't play much decent football either, to be honest.
Where did Crystal Palace finish in the Premier League this season?
Mid-season as normal, I think, like round about 10th. I think they could come good if they play the way they did against United a couple of nights ago. They could finish 10th or so. You
mentioned the Man United game. Fantastic goal from Elise. That free kick was wonderful stuff. What do you make of his reluctancy to celebrate goals?
I didn't look into that at all, to be honest. I didn't even see the reason for it all. I haven't looked into it, but I'm not sure.
He never celebrates. He never celebrates when he scores, old Elise.
I'm not sure about that. I haven't looked into it, to be honest. Yeah.
Pitch football. We're outside Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace 0, Newcastle 0. With me, I've got some Newcastle fans. Give me your instant reaction to what we saw today, sir.
Pretty poor game. 50-50. I don't know. We've left a little bit early. What's been two chances on goal, both sides. It's average game.
Talk to me about Newcastle this season under Eddie Howe. What have you made of the team's form?
Absolutely brilliant. I'm absolutely loving it. It's been 20 years in the waiting, and I couldn't be prouder of the lads. They're doing a cracking job.
Now, Newcastle have got more money than any team in the world. Who would you like to see them recruit? Would you like to see them bring in and bolster their ranks?
I'm pretty happy with the team that they've got at the moment, to be honest with you. I'm glad Bruno was playing today. A bit worried when he gets injured, but we could maybe do with a bit more strength there. But I'm backing the lads as they are at the moment.
Bruno Gomes, what a player he's been, what a signing.
Absolute legend. I mean, I absolutely love him to death.
Are Newcastle in the title race this season, sir? What's your take on it?
Don't think so this season, but if we can get into the Champions League, I'll be very, very happy. Maybe next season.
Love that. Overall, how satisfied are you with Newcastle, with Eddie Howe this season?
After 20 plus years of her, I'm absolutely loving him. I mean, couldn't be better.
I remember the Kevin Keegan era and the style of football we played. I'd love it if we beat them. Do you think those days are close to coming back to Tyneside?
I think maybe another couple of years and we'll be there, yeah.
Love that. May I ask you, how did you enjoy the game, my girl?
I thought it was good. It was good, but there wasn't a lot going on a lot of the time. It was a bit rough, the game, but overall it was pretty good.
Where will Newcastle finish this season, sir?
I think we'll be top 4. I think we'll probably come in third, I'm hoping.
Held at Pitch Football, we're outside Selhurst Park. We've got Crystal Palace versus Newcastle. With me, I've got a very passionate Geordie. Yes. Great to meet you, mate. How you doing?
So I'm all right, mate. How's yourself?
I'm really well.
Fantastic. I mean, it's pretty warm down here, and it's fucking cold down the southern climate. See, we get the continental weather, innit?
This is summer to you, boys.
This is fucking Spanish weather. You know what I mean, yeah?
Talk to me about Newcastle Palace. What do you make of the game today, big man?
Mate, take a point of point, and I mean, I think we're holding out for Southampton. I would rather the silverware in the cup. Keep it tight, keep it a bit shitty here and there, you know what I mean? But we're going for the fucking silverware.
What he's trying to say is Newcastle, Southampton in the semi-final of the cup next week. Big game, mate.
Then we're going to Wembley. Sorry for the language.
You can say whatever you like, big fella.
Yes, man. We're going to Wembley, mate. We're going to Wembley.
Now, let's talk a little bit about manager Eddie Howe. Let's talk about Newcastle's form this season.
Eddie, I love him, mate. He's what a bloke. The way he's turned this fucking not only the club but the city around, fucking we're smashing it now.
I remember the days of Kevin Keegan. I love it if we beat them. How far are those days from coming back to Tyneside, my man?
How far? We're there now, man. We're back. Geordie boys are back. We're back with attack.
Would you say Newcastle are in the title race this season, my man?
No. We're not going to get too far-fetched. I would rather silverware than top 4, me. But I mean, yeah, we're taking every day this stride. But I mean, of where we are now, fucking I've got a little twitch for fucking where we are now, you know what I mean? You can't say...
If I said to you, Newcastle are the richest club in the world, what goes through your mind?
fucking right, bro. Get the packets out. Hey!
Who joins Newcastle? Who's the big signing you'd like to see?
Who's it? Up the JBUS, Eddie House, Black and White Army.
That's good enough for me. Have a safe journey home, big man. Helder, we're outside Selhurst Park. Just bumped into one of Arsenal's youth players, bizarrely. Great to have you here, mate. And I want to ask you a few questions about Arsenal. How proud are you of Arsenal's form this season?
I think it's very good that they're first in the season. I'd say Arteta's done really well, with the way they're playing and stuff like that.
Love that. This season, Arsenal have been phenomenal. When you think of the North London derby last year to the North London derby this year, what did you make over the win over Tottenham?
With Tottenham, I don't really think there's any competition with Tottenham. Like Arsenal are just miles ahead of Tottenham. That's what I'd say.
A lot of football still to be played.
Yeah.
Are you gonna put your mocker on it? Are you confident enough to say that Arsenal can win the league this year?
Arsenal win 100%. Arsenal 100%. 100%.
What's the difference from Arsenal now to Arsenal last season?
They want it more. So it is. They want it more.
Arsenal paid 30 million for Odegaard. What would you value him at currently in the current market?
120 million. He's top. He's a top player. World class centre mid.
Who's your favourite player in the current squad?
Saka. Or Reece Lawson.
Saka's a player, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a player, top player. I'd say he's really well 1v1ing. He's like me.
Do you find it inspiring, the fact that the Howen youngsters are getting so many chances? Saka's in the first team. You're seeing other boys breaking through like Nalawali. I hope I pronounced that right. But you know what I'm trying to say. There's some real talent coming from the Howe end.
Yeah, as a member of Hairline, I would say it's quite good that I've seen these players, trained with a lot of these players that are actually in the first team now. Well, training with the first team. And I'm only 13. I'm the under 14, so that's really good.
Who should we look out for in the academy in the 16s? Who's going to be the next one to break through, in your opinion?
Miles Kelly Lewis. Yeah.
He's a player. He reminds me of Saka a lot.
Aiden. I don't know his second name. And Ethan Waneri.
Ethan Waneri. I think I pronounced that wrong. What a player. What a baller he is.
Top player. Yeah. He's very good on the ball as well. So I'd say.
You get the pleasure to see these players and train with these players week in, week out. Do you think they're going to be good enough to really push a case to get into the Arsenal first team?
Yeah, 100%. I think they could go on to be world-class Premier League players. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Tell us about yourself. What position do you play? What's your full name?
I play left wing. My name is Jaden Donko.
Okay. So would you describe yourself in a Saka mould, Jaden?
I'd say I'm a mini version of Saka. That's what I'd say.
That's a big quote. In 10 years, when we're watching the Premier League, this video is going to come back to haunt you. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, 100%.
Helder pitch football. I'm outside Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace 0, Newcastle 0. Got two fanatical Newcastle fans all the way from the northeast. Give us your reaction to what we saw today, sir.
Well, wasn't the best game. We had some chances. I don't know. We're just lacking a lot of cutting edge.
What do you think?
We should have scored a few, but their keeper done some good saves.
Yeah. When I say to you, Newcastle United are the richest team in the world, what goes through your mind initially?
Unbelievable, really. Just unreal. I don't know. I can't believe it.
Would you like Eddie Howe to spend some big money, or are you happy with the subtle purchases he's made thus far as Newcastle manager?
I don't know. What do you think, Will?
I would buy one big player to help the team, and then I would leave it for a couple of years.
Who would you sign, Will?
Haaland.
It's going to take a lot of money to get Haaland, I'll tell you that, lad. You're talking a few hundred million there. Talk to me about Eddie Howe under Newcastle. What's it like to have him managing the club?
Oh, he's just totally changed things. He's just his training, everything, just much better. The players are much fitter, much better than Steve Bruce.
Newcastle have been a sleeping giant for many, many years, since the days of Bobby Robson, Kevin Keegan. Does it feel like the city's got a bit of pride in its step for the way the team are playing?
Oh, it's totally different now. When you go out to the match, it's totally different buzz altogether. We used to come out crying, didn't we? We used to cry, didn't we?
Yeah.
It must be a wonderful thing to see your team struggling with the likes of Mike Ashley and Steve Bruce in charge to now being, well, kind of like a force in the Premier League, and probably it's only going to get better if I'm being brutally honest.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we've had some really bad times, but say Will's 10 now, and hopefully he's going to see the good times.
Dad, You're in a pole position to watch some beautiful football.
I've got one thing to say. Arsenal, we're coming for ya.
Tell them, Will.
We're going to win the Premier League.
Helder Pitch Football, we're outside Selhurst Park. Just witnessed Crystal Palace 0, Newcastle 0. Not the most exciting game, but Palace happy to get away with a point here.
Yeah, for the course of the season, it was good, but Mateta could have done better with that last effort. Pope did well, to be fair, but
Were you expecting more from Newcastle today? Do you think that they could have turned it on a little bit more?
I think on recent form, probably yes, but I mean, Selhurst Park, tough place to come, so
Not many people relish coming to the Eagles nowadays.
yeah, I completely agree. They couldn't really get hold of the ball like they have been recently, so yeah. But we did well to get a point as well.
Talk to me about Palace under Patrick Vieira. What are they like?
Very improved, pushing. I think soon pushing for Europe. I mean, yeah. Now that there's the Conference League, 7th place, can easily get in there with the young talent. Eberechi Eze, Mark Gahey coming through as well. So they're bright days ahead for
You
Palace.
mentioned Elise. I loved his goal against Manchester United. The free kick was magic. Can you spread any light, or shed any light rather, on why he refuses to celebrate goals?
Well, I think it's a bit like the Mario Balotelli saying about doing his job, but I mean, that was last-minute equaliser against Man United. You've got to celebrate that, really.
Got a hint of Roy Keane about him. You're just doing your job, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic free kick, though.
Yeah, I find it. What's the word? Refreshing a little bit and a little bit peculiar. See him nutmeg someone in training. He's celebrating like he's won the World Cup. Scores a last-minute equaliser against Manchester United. He's emotionless.
Yeah, I mean, he's young as well, so he's learning his ropes. Maybe he's still practicing his celebration in training.
Mate, I thought you was the best ventriloquist act I've ever seen. You speak. Give us a few words.
The game wasn't the greatest, but sometimes when they get the balls into the box in that position, they just have to smash it. So, yeah.
All in all, proud and pleased with Crystal Palace this season.
Yeah, I think under Vieira they've improved a lot. I'm liking the recruitment a lot. I like the young talent that they brought in. I think with a few more signings, they'll be pushing for Europe soon.
Crystal Palace got such a good academy as well. Be nice to see them using and nurturing some of these homegrown talents.
I think Vieira's. I like the guy that he brought on. He looked a bit decent. Yeah, they've got a sick academy. I like Raksaki. Once comes back from loan, yeah.
It must be great to be a Crystal Palace fan at the moment. Every time I come here, I enjoy the fans, I enjoy the buzz of it. It's like normal people who genuinely support their local club.
Yeah, it's just people here to watch football, support their football team, and sometimes get a result, you know, when we're lucky enough. But yeah, it's good. Selhurst Park, come down if you think you want to.
One of the most bizarrest rivalries in football is the Eagles and the Seagulls. For people that don't live in London, they don't realise how close the two clubs are. There's literally a motorway separating them. Talk to me about that rivalry with Brighton.
I mean, it's a bit of a friendly rivalry, isn't it? But I mean, it's still a rivalry at the end of the day. It's very close, the two clubs. So, yeah, we hate them.
Who's the number one bird? Eagles or the Seagulls?
Eagles.
Eagles! Helder Pitch Football, Crystal Palace 0, Newcastle 0. Give us your immediate reaction to the game, big lad.
My immediate reaction is Newcastle are lacking in a striker, right? But Palace held back. They didn't have nothing. Palace had nothing, and I'd love to come here and do Palace, but Palace did not have a single answer for Newcastle United. We are a force to be reckoned with. So those top six, please look after us, baby, because we're coming for you.
You've got a cup semi-final next against Southampton. Talk to me about it. Are you going to be getting your hands on silverware this season, sir?
Right. I hope we're going to win the cup, right? Obviously, I'm Newcastle. I hope we're going to win. But I'm at Southampton on Tuesday, right? And we're going there to love this. We're going there for the atmosphere. We're going there for the fun. We are Newcastle United, and we're going to win the cup. Here we come.
What do you reckon about Eddie Howe? How's he done for Newcastle this season, sir?
Right, I'll tell you what. I was in Riyadh, right, for the pre-season friendly with Newcastle, and Eddie Howe come from Bournemouth. He had a year out. He's come back. Right, he's looked at the clubs. He's looked at the football. He's done absolutely brilliant. And what can we expect when Newcastle United? We don't expect the best. We expect people to compete for the team. right? That's what we expect. We don't expect to win nothing. We don't expect people's loyalty. We just expect the team to play for the fans. We will travel all over the world, everywhere. But we want the players to play for the fans. That's all we want. Commitment. We love you. We love Newcastle.
Lovely. Held a pitch football outside Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace 0, Newcastle 0. Give us your immediate reaction to the game. How do you assess that?
Well, I thought on paper going into the game, Newcastle's lineup, I think we should have really went out for the 3 points there. But no credit to Palace, I thought they defended quite well. It was one of them ones where a bit frustrating on our point of view, but I thought a draw probably was a good reflection of the game, I felt like.
Yeah. Weren't the best game, weren't the most exciting game, but you've managed to get a point at Palace. Were you optimistic of a big win before the game?
I think I did say 2-0 once the lineup came. I think Bruno will come back from his injury was quite a big one for Newcastle, but Selhurst Park's always a ground for Newcastle where we don't tend to really pick up a win here. So last time I came down here, of course, was the 1-1 last year at Palace. Completely dominated the game. So coming down this time, I mean, yes, I'm confident how Newcastle's season's been so far, but really, I've seen you got a good point against Man U a few days ago. It was one of them ones where, I mean, I guess a little bit disappointed, but no, it's still a good point for us, I think, in the hindsight and how things have been.
When I say to you, Newcastle are the richest club in the world, what goes through your mind?
Well, well, of course, the takeover is so big for us. Well, I mean, you've seen the first time, like actually, with the previous seasons at Selhurst Park when we came down, we used to always be a rubbish team to watch. You always fancy Palace and every time, but now it's just a complete transformation. Now it's so positive going to the games. I mean, that 0-0 is like a bad result for Newcastle. Now, even though it's not really, that's just where we are as a club now. We've lost once in the Premier League in 20 games now. It's incredible. But yeah, defensively we've been by far the best in the league, I would say, defensive-wise. And just going forward, just need to be a bit more clinical. But overall, really not a bad performance, to be honest, sir.
Talk to me about Eddie Howe. How pleased are you with his managerial finesse so far at Newcastle?
Well, Eddie Howe is just next to none when it comes to Newcastle. I mean, best manager I've probably seen in my lifetime. But I know Bobby Robson's around the early 2000s, but I don't remember that one personally. Now, Eddie Howe, he's so good at getting the best out of players. I've seen it with Joe right now, when I had two quite good examples. A lot of our players we played today, I mean, we've had these before the takeover. It's not like we've completely rebuilt a full team. We've still had a few of the players. Yeah, it's been able to get the best out of what we've had. Of course, yes, he's had some help with money, but it's just been really good what Eddie Howe's done. He's been able to get everyone working together, and I mean, it just proves in the Premier League table. We dropped 2 points now, but we're still 6 points clear, or fifth in the league at the minute. It's crazy to say that.
It's got perfect what you said. Not only has he not spent massively, he's got the best out of existing players. Look at Almiron. He's been absolutely phenomenal this season.
Yeah, well, I thought Almiron looked good, looked lively today again, but I think with Palace, they're good at keeping players quiet. It was one of them ones really where Newcastle had a lot of the ball, but we just didn't do enough of it. We didn't do enough of the ball today, I feel like.
Next up, Southampton, Cup semi-final. Talk to me about it.
Well, I'm actually going back to my hotel room now. So I'm going back to my hotel room now. Tuesday night, Southampton. I can't wait for that. That's the more bigger game for
won the League Cup.
Yeah. Yes. But I'm going back to my hotel room now. I'm going over to Southampton tomorrow, and I'm staying for the Tuesday game. So yeah, I can't wait for that one. That's going to be the huge run for Newcastle, the semi-final, of course. First cup final in 22 years if we can get past Southampton. So yeah, I look forward to.
I'm old enough to remember the era of Kevin Keegan. I love it if we beat them. How far are Newcastle from those glory days again, or from really making a title challenge?
Well, in terms of title challenge, I still think we're a couple of seasons away from it. I know you can say this season we only lost once, we were third or fourth in the Premier League too, but I still think we're a good mile off from City and Arsenal, to be honest. Just got that quality. We're just lacking a little bit, I would say, compared to them. I think eventually we can build onto it. I think for now, though, it's ensuring we can get a consistent top six position, playing regular European football and going for it in the Cups, as you can see in the Carabao Cup. So I think that's Newcastle's strategy for now, but I think eventually maybe, but one step at a time. I don't want to get too cocky in front of you.
Held a pitch football, we're outside Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace 0, Newcastle 0. Give us your immediate reaction to what we saw, lad.
I believe it was a decent game overall, but I think just the finishing touch is something we need to work on overall, I definitely believe.
Talk to me about Newcastle this season under Eddie Howe. What have you made of the season thus far?
Oh, brilliant. Only one loss to Liverpool, overall. But like just too many draws, I think.
Yes.
A couple of draws that I don't think we need to do. I think that we could have won very easily.
Newcastle got enough about them. There's a lot of football to be played. Can they sneak a title challenge this year?
Yeah, definitely 100%. I definitely can get Europe this season, definitely. Then hopefully next season, try to go for the top Premier League. Yeah.
Now you've got a cup final against Southampton, semi-final, coming up against Southampton. What's your prediction for that?
First game 2-0, second game 3-0.
Newcastle Bull showed a lot of faith in Eddie Howe. Love to see British managers getting the top jobs. What's your thoughts on Eddie Howe?
Oh, he's brilliant. He was the perfect man for the job. Someone who he had the determination to build the club into what it is now and what it's going to become. I'm old enough to remember the days of Kevin Keegan, and I love it if we beat them. How far are them days from coming back to Newcastle? Oh, it feels like a distant memory, all that stuff now. But I think the future of this club is going to match, if not overtake, that era.
It's crazy when you think about it. Newcastle are the richest club in the world. What goes through your mind when I say that?
Just, it's to this day, it still doesn't set in. The fact that, we're the richest club. And also like that Eddie Howe, he doesn't take advantage of that. He still picks wisely on who he picks. He doesn't go around spending all his money.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Eddie Howe has been absolutely shrewd in the transfer market so far, and the recruitment's been second to none.
Definitely. Yeah.
Held a pitch football outside Selhurst Park. Just witnessed a 0-0 draw between Crystal Palace and Newcastle. Give us your instant reaction to what we saw.
It's a good game. It's high intensity and it's a good game.
Now we've got Eagles fans all the way from Sweden. What brought you from Sweden to support Crystal Palace?
It was nice to watch the game. I mean, it's always a pleasure to come here to Selhurst Park.
What were your thoughts on Newcastle today? Did you expect more from that team, or what did you make of them?
Yeah, I really expected more because they're only top 4. So I mean, they're fighting for the Champions League, and I hope for more from their side, so to speak. So.
Satisfying as a Crystal Palace fan, though, to hold big teams and get a point against a side like this.
Yeah, that's very satisfying. I mean, and from 1-1 against United this week, and also 0-0 today. I mean, 2 points out of 6 is fine against the top 4.
I love the goal against Man United from Elise. Why do you think he doesn't celebrate goals when he scores?
Yeah, I mean, maybe something internally. I don't know. Could be something against their own teammates.
Held a pitch football outside Selhurst Park, 0-0 Crystal Palace Newcastle. Give us your instant reaction to the game, sir.
Disappointed. I thought we're the better team. Probably deserved the 3 points. Just that little bit of quality, a little bit of cutting edge. So all in all, usually we come to away games on years gone by, we'd be happy with a point, but we're developing that much of a team now that we're disappointed to come away with less than 3. But we'll go again Tuesday in the cup.
Yes.
Hopefully get through that, and then the good times are coming.
Before we get onto the cup game against Southampton in the semi-final, talk to me about Eddie Howe's Newcastle this season and everything that's going on at Tyneside.
Brilliant. People just want to get out early before the game for a few beers. People want to go and watch the match. The whole city's really, really loving what's going on at the moment. But Eddie's got them playing well. He's going to tune out all of them. Just trust everything he's doing. But I just enjoying it.
When I say to you Newcastle, the richest club in the world, what goes through your mind?
Absolutely buzzing.
Who would you bring in? How would you spend the money?
I'm happy with whatever Eddie says, and obviously whatever the club say. I'm happy with that, mate. He's got to tune out to some of them players. Like say, obviously signed Dan Burn last January. Yes. Didn't really know masses and masses about him, but kids stepped up and doing really well. The lads who we've already had there, he's got them playing well. But we seem to be getting some good players, and obviously we're saying Bruno. He's the marquee.
Bruno Gamira is a man, isn't he?
Yeah, if he has a 7 out of 10, the rest of the team play well. But the back four as well. Botman's brilliant. Obviously Shaw. Usually you get a player who's 3 million. He probably looks like he's worth 30 or 40 million now. But I just really enjoying it. Want to come in. It's good, isn't it?
Must be fantastic to see British managers getting the chance as well with the big bucks.
Yeah, he's the man. Honestly, he's the man. It's the best job in England at the moment, though. So I can't imagine he wants to be anywhere else. But I just enjoying it.
Would you describe Newcastle as a sleeping giant?
Absolutely. Just fan base and stuff like that. As I say, like the full city is brilliant. Obviously 52,000 every week. Great away following. Like in the street now where I live, I'm living in Newcastle. Everybody's got a Newcastle top on. Brilliant. Honestly, it's class.
Do you reckon it's the Kevin Keegan era second coming?
Hopefully. Although I'm not sure me live I'll be to deal with it. But really enjoying it. Really enjoying it.
Held a pitch football. We're outside Selhurst Park. Just witnessed 0-0 Newcastle Crystal Palace. Give us your instant reaction to the game.
Thought it was good. Positive vibes, mate. Good team, good energy, both sides. Thought we could have won more, but I think everyone's attitudes and beliefs are very good there. I think it was a game of both halves. I think we both worked each other and they played our tactics, but overall I thought it was a good game. I thought both teams could have won in the end. Everyone had the chances, but I think Eddie Howe's got a new belief under the side, and I think it's going to go places. That the attitude and everything and charisma and everything about the side is going to be very well in the future.
Still a lot of football to be played. Can Newcastle sneak a title challenge this year, sir?
I think in the top 2, top 3 easy, because you know what, I think there's teams like Arsenal that'll drop off, Man City, but we come here to play and win, and no one wants to play against Newcastle this year. Not one team. Who wants to come here and play against Newcastle? Who wants to come to St James's Park? We'll go anywhere and we'll beat any right, come on!
When I say to you Newcastle were the richest club in the world, what goes through your mind?
I just think we're the richest, but we haven't spent big, we spent wisely, and we bought players that are willing to play for our club, like Bruno Gomes, Isaac, people like that, Dan Burn. 30 million, 35 million for Botman. Who's going to want to play against people like that? This club is playing for the team, and this side is going to go places because of the attitude that everyone has. And I'd like to thank everyone. Thank you very much, mate. All the best for the rest.
Have a safe journey home, lad. Thanks for talking to us. Take care.